Hey guys, I'm gonna be making a yapping video where I get deep, I get philosophical. And the only thing is I'm doing this unscripted, so I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. But I'm the most philosophical bitch on the planet, so I'm sure I can figure something out. Literally, okay, I just got an idea just from sipping this. This is a banana smoothie, right? So something that genuinely is just like crazy to me is how so bananas are biodegradable, which means you can just throw them outside and the banana peel, like after you're done eating it you can just throw it outside, and that shit is it's good for nature, right? Like you're able to just dispose of it and like not throw it away, and it helps plants grow. It's good for the environment, okay? It's like you're giving back to the environment because it's natural, you know. The only problem with that though is that I don't think that it technically is natural, because there's so much, like even in the banana, there's so much added sugars, added chemicals probably, that like you can't okay, honestly don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, but like I'm assuming, because like everything's like that. And if you're getting your bananas from a grocery store, not straight off of a tree, then like chances are they did something to it, like a little something, either to make it more yellow or like whatever, like they did something. So who knows, maybe it's not good to put it back in the environment. But like that's just that, like every single food industry, like we okay, so every single food industry, they add stuff to like make it taste better or look better, and it's not necessarily stuff that's bad for you, but in the long run it's bad for you. It's not what you are biologically supposed to be eating. You're not supposed to be eating chemicals. You're not supposed to be eating like fucking, I don't know, like food dye, like all this shit. Like it's stuff that we made that like it's not natural, and it's not what you're supposed to be putting in your body. Like what we're supposed to be putting in our body is meat and fruit. We're supposed to be hunter-gatherers, and that is what humans are developed to do really well. We are developed to be able to run far distances. We're not the fastest runners, but we have the highest endurance, which means that back in the day when we were hunters, we would chase our prey until they got tired, which means in theory we could kill a cheetah. I doubt that was ever happened, but like in theory it's possible, because sure, the cheetah runs super fast, but we have more endurance, so the cheetah will get tired and stop, but we won't get tired. That's why we fucking run marathons. What other animal do you see running a marathon? Okay, also the cheetah reference was really bad. I doubt we could kill a cheetah. I doubt we could catch up to a cheetah. But like anything else, like if you're fucking like trying to kill like an elephant, I guarantee you could, because you would tire it out. You could literally just run and chase it for a day and then kill it, and then you could just eat it and gain all your energy back, and maybe even more, and then maybe it's like you didn't even waste anything. So like that's how humans are supposed to be made, but instead we're eating this stuff and it's not good for us. And also it's just so easy accessible. Like people don't, it's like you can just go to a grocery store, get your food, it's already there for you. You're not putting in the effort. You don't, like for example, I don't know how to cook. I do. I know I can use a microwave, I can use a stove, and I can somewhat use the oven now. If you asked me a year ago, I wouldn't be able to use the oven. Now I know how to do it. But like I'm not the best cook, and I need like a recipe and all this shit. And like the fact that there's even recipes, like it should not be that complicated. We should not have all this seasoning, all this shit. Honestly, never mind. We should have seasoning. Seasoning's bust. But like, what about like sauces? Like Chick-fil-A sauce, literally my favorite sauce in the entire world. It's so good. We should not have that, because that's just not normal. And like I don't know, it's not what we're supposed to be like. And it just makes people so unhealthy, and since it's so easy accessible and people don't have motivation, like once you're an adult and like you don't do anything, let's say you're working on a 5 to 9 office job, like you're probably depressed, you're stuck in an unhealthy marriage, you have kids that you fucking hate, they're so annoying, they just cry all the time, right? You're depressed, and you obviously you're not gonna have motivation to like go to the gym, or like, hey, I'm gonna go on a run or something. And so you go to your 9 to 5, you wake up, go to your 9 to 5, and then you're so fucking tired when you get home, you fucking just you just eat whatever. It's unhealthy usually, because like you don't give a fuck. You're probably not caring about your health already if you're already in a unhealthy marriage. Point is, it's probably unhealthy because most marriages are unhealthy, but like obviously they're not going to leave you if you look a little fat, you know, because like you all probably both look fat together and you probably have each other. And so where was I going with this? Anyway, yeah. And so you're not gonna have motivation to like go be healthy and shit. So like chances are you're not gonna be healthy. And you're just gonna eat and then you're gonna drink and then you're gonna pass out. That's usually how it goes. That's the American dream. Y'all wanna live the American dream? Go. Have fun, live the American dream. You marry your high school sweetheart. Y'all fall apart because I'm pretty sure it's only 7 years that love lasts. Like it's like it doesn't last long. It's not a like forever feeling. Like you can love this person, but the initial like love, like the falling in love moment, the spark, it's gonna fade. It's gonna be gone because you're gonna start living with this person. They're gonna start to be like your sibling. You live with your siblings. That's how your partner's gonna end up being like. I don't think people understand that. They like kind of romanticize it. They're gonna be, oh, it's gonna be perfect forever. No, it's not gonna be perfect forever. Like for example, I used to live with my best friend. It was so fun when we first started, and don't get me wrong, it was fun the entire time. It was so fun. Like looking back on it, best days of my life. But while I was living it, we both hit a super bad depression, super bad psychosis, and we stopped being grateful for each other because we were just so used to each other always being there. We never put we would put time and day into each other, but like we never like really tried with each other because we knew that we were always there for each other. So like we never like gave that extra love and support that like best friends usually do. And like we never hug. Like that's something like we never hug. We like we'll say like how we love each other and stuff, but we never really like actually explain it. And like it's just because once you start living with someone, like you guys kind of just understand that like you both care about each other and you don't show it, and then the spark, whatever spark there is, fades. Okay, spark fades, you get used to it. It's like your siblings, and eventually that can get pretty annoying. So you can work to build your spark in a lot of relationships, sure, but the chances of that lasting throughout your entire marriage are so low. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. What I was saying about food is that it's that's the American dream. It's not healthy. It's just so bad, and it's literally just a cycle. And the whole reason for this is because of society. Oh my god. Boom, boom, brah. It's like that is literally what you have to do. You are raised to go to school. It is literally illegal if you don't go to school. If you do not get an education, your parents are going to jail. So that's fun. That's just super fun. And so you have to go 12 years of school, and then it's not necessary, but it is highly recommended and highly pushed. I'm only in sophomore year, and they are already having us decide our college schools, our majors, the job, the career we want to go to, all of this. It's having you look at different colleges, all this. So college, highly, highly, highly pushed on you. It's very, very stressed. And if you don't go to college, chances are all your peers are going to judge the fuck out of you because they've been raised to think that the only way to be successful in life is if you go to college and then you get a job, because you're more likely to get a better job if you go to college. But the thing is, yeah, you can get paid more, but chances are it's not going to be a fucking job you like, because hey, I hate to break it to you, but jobs aren't fun and they get old. Even if you have a fun job, they will get old, they will get boring, you're going to have hard days, and it just sucks. You have to work for the rest of your life for 60 years. Are you joking me? Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm fucking not. Like, you're saying you have to do fucking 12 years of torture in school of you learning who you are. Most people don't even find out who they are until they're an adult. But like you're so much like insecurity, realizations, relationships, immaturity, just stupid mistakes. And it usually sucks, and a lot of people end up fucking spiraling and having middle school, high school be the worst years of their life. And then right after that, boom, you are forced to go into college, and hey, a lot of people are like, oh my god, college dream, let's party. If you're going the route of like you want to get a job and shit, then you can't party. You can go to a few parties, sure, but you have to be locked in. You have to be studying every fucking night. My grandma, she told me that there were nights where she was literally studying all night, and then she would get to school and she would fail the test because she was studying all night. She didn't get any sleep, and that was just because of how hard her class was. It wasn't like she was just bad with her time management. Like she was doing everything she can, and she was super responsible, and it was still just hell for her. So then after college, let's say you do complete it, you get your degree or whatever, and then you get a job, then you're just working for the rest of your life into retirement, and you have to actually work to get into retirement. If you don't have enough money to get into retirement, then you can't retire, and you're just working for the rest of your life in a miserable job that you don't want. And that's the American dream, oh my god. And then you are also expected to get married. Again, I already said this, unhappy marriages, shit happens. And then you're expected to fucking have kids. Like, if you don't have kids, then you're just a disgrace to society, because you could be stopping your bloodline, or your parents don't get to be grandparents, and it just sucks, right? It just sucks. And so you're all these expectations from society. But I feel like okay, even though, so motherhood is like a thing of like biological, like if you were a caveman, literally all you know, like you don't know language, you can't comprehend anything, like you would have no idea what I'm saying, and you wouldn't give a fuck, because all you'd be thinking about is when's the next time I'm gonna eat, and who can I fuck to have a kid, because that's all you're biologically programmed to do. You're programmed to have sex, and you're programmed to eat and drink, and obviously you're always breathing. But like, what? And I'm sorry, the fact that we even like got to that point, like I got sidetracked. I forgot what I was talking about before, but like holy fuck, like the fact that we have developed so much, like we're okay. Here is something that I full heartedly believe. I believe that we're aliens, and I'm not saying that that means that we necessarily came from space. I just think that we are so incredibly different from every other species that it's like kind of crazy. It's a little crazy, because like like okay, a gorilla is the closest thing to like a human, right? And there, I mean, yeah, there's been gorillas that can like learn sign language and stuff, but that's because they're learning from humans. They wouldn't be able to do that on themselves, and like they communicate through like grunts and stuff, but they don't have actual language to go into insane depth about this kind of stuff. And they can build their little huts or whatever, but they can't build fucking skyscrapers. They can't build buildings. They can't build computers. They cannot do technology. They can't do any of that shit. They can't have this kind of in-depth conversation that we are right now. And that's just gorillas. If you're talking about every other animal on the planet, they're even like less IQ and can't do that stuff. So it's impossible. And there are smart animals like dolphins, but they just have incapabilities. Like they won't have vocal cords. They can't do stuff, like they can't do anything else. So they are just biologically wired. Fuck, eat, kill, anything. Like, you know, like that's like what they're supposed to do. So we're the only people that don't fucking do that. We're the only animal that, and we're the only animal that is so full of ourselves, and like, but the crazy thing is that we're aware of it. Like, I'm aware of it. Like, we think that we are the top of the food chain, which honestly, yeah, we are, because IQ wise we got there. We were able to build stuff and get to where we are. But just the fact that we were able to fucking do that, like, when the fuck did that start? When did the Neanderthals part ways and all of a sudden just boom, brasem, and like, who figured out that like you can just start planting stuff and it starts to grow? Like, and where do seeds even come from? I think they come from the plant, but how do you know? How did someone figure out that was a seed and then plant it? Like, I mean, I guess like they didn't have anything to do. They were just playing with dirt. But like, what the fuck? How do you know to water that every day? And how do you get to where we are? How do we learn about photosynthesis? How do we see cells? How do we make microscopes? How do we see all the way up telescopes? Like, how do we do that? No other species is able to do that. And also, no, every other species on planet gives back to the environment. They have a system going. Like trees, for example, they take in CO2 and take out oxygen, and we kind of help them for that, because we take in oxygen and let out CO2. But we don't know we're doing that. Like, we don't know that. And like, like, and how do we even know that they do that? How can we even see the CO2? How can we see the oxygen? How the fuck? Like, I don't know how we see the particles, and I don't know how like sound waves work. How do you tell me you can see the waves and they're bouncing off, and it's like, huh? Like, and then like the speed of light and the speed of like sound, like how is anything even that fast? Like, what? And I don't know, because like every other species, they give back to their environment. Like, they use their environment and they give back to it. They don't destroy and destroy. What we do is we destroy, and we know that we destroy, and we don't do jack shit about it. Like, we know, like, we'll just willingly like litter or do whatever the fuck. But like, no, like ants, they use every single resource they can for themselves, and then they give back. Like bees, they pollinate. Like, literally, I can't think of any more examples right now, but every single species does it, and no species destroys their habitat and does what we do. Like, it is actually insane. Like, we are aliens. We are fucking aliens. We are nothing like anything else on this planet. Everything else on this planet is like each other. They're all correlated. We're not. They probably think that we're aliens. Like, it's actually so weird. A little thing about that too that I always think about is like, if let's say like an alien came and saw like a human walking a dog, who's gonna think runs the planet? They're gonna think the dog runs the planet. They're not gonna think the human runs the planet because you're the one walking it. I don't know, just a little thing about it. I think it's kind of funny. Speaking of that, no, I was literally watching this video about this girl. She was like on drugs and doing a street interview, and I took this screenshot because the camera panned. It was completely unrelated to the video. It was just because like they were on the street and they saw this, and I'm sorry, what in the actual fuck? Look, this lady is walking a robot dog. A robot dog. Why? Why are you walking a robot dog? It is not a dog. If you can't have a dog, get a hyperallergenic dog. Or if you can't live with a dog, then just don't get a dog. Why the fuck would you get a robot dog? That's so weird. It's not at all like a dog. It's a programmed for, like, what? What are we living in? What are we living in? Oh my god, speaking of AI, it is terrifying. Like, okay, my friend, he was showing me a video and he didn't even realize it was AI. I do, because I'm not on social media, so when something's like not real, I can see that shit because it's like obvious. I know the difference between real life and fucking not real life. Like, I feel like it should be obvious, but people who are constantly online, they're always like just consumed in AI that they always think that it's real, and the lines start to blur. And so it was literally a video of like a gorilla with a bat hitting a crocodile that was about to eat the baby gorilla, and this motherfucker thought it was real, and I was like, dude, that's AI as hell. First of all, how is a gorilla holding a bat? How did the gorilla get the bat? If it's in an exhibit, then why the hell is a crocodile with the gorilla? And like, also, it was just so obviously AI, the way the crocodile was like moving. Like, crocodiles don't move like that. And it was like, I don't know. And like, why are we even doing that? What is AI accomplishing from that? What is AI accomplishing from that? I don't get it. Why do we need that video on the internet? What the fuck is that doing? It's not doing anything. Like, I don't get, like, I don't know. And like all the art stuff, it completely takes away what art is, because art is a symbol of human intelligence, is human capabilities, not robot capabilities. What the fuck? And people that want to put fucking chips in your brain, are you insane? Then you're just taking away your human capitalistics and you're becoming a robot. And then they have a chip in your brain that can control anything you do. They could probably end up controlling your actions and just making everyone robot, and then just creating a whole big ass robot army. If they wanted to, they probably could do that. And another thing is, society is just constantly trying to make people so weak. Like, they push eating disorders as fuck. They show these skinny models and like, oh, it's not for beauty. It's not for fucking beauty. It's so that you can get weak as hell, and so that you're weak as hell and you're stupid, because when you don't eat, you can't think. You, like, your brain shuts off. You can't think, so you wouldn't be able to have this kind of conversation that I have. And I'm sorry, like, if you're listening to me and you haven't eaten in a couple of days, please go eat, because literally all you're doing is destroying your body. You're getting weaker. I'm telling you, like, this, I've been eating so well and like working out, and this is like the healthiest I've ever been, and I've the most confident I've ever been, and I think the best I've ever looked. And so like, it's so much better, and your brain is actually thinking and comprehending. Like, this is the smartest I've ever been either. I used to be a fucking idiot, okay? And like, it's literally just because it's like they're pushing this on you so that you get stupid, you can't think of what the government's doing and shit, and like, you can't think of all the bad things in life, and then you're also just getting weaker. So like, if they ever do want to like have a fucking AI like little zombie apocalypse, I'm not saying I believe this, I'm just like throwing this out there just in case I don't believe it, but like let's just say like it would be best to go against a lot of starving people, because you know, in history, all the wars, the reason that they would always fucking live, or the reason that any war would always win, was because of the advantages, because they would have advantage of people dying, people starving, already previous conflicts, governors like being distracted with other wars going on that you could just go and invade. And it's like, like they and or like disease, if there's a lot of people dying off, that's the easy way to fucking hit. And you know what's a really big problem right now? Overpopulation. That's a really big problem. They used to think there were 7 billion people. Nope, they miscalculated. There's over 10 billion people. That is way too many people on this planet. It is getting insane. China started like having people like not have kids. Do y'all remember that? China was like, no, you can only have one kid. What the hell? And like, I'm sorry, but like, COVID is another thing. I'm not saying I'm a fucking skeptic, but I'm just gonna say some facts right now. Almost all COVID death, I think this is obvious, but COVID, like, it infected people who were already sick. COVID didn't actually kill anyone. It just enhanced the illness that they already had. Which, I'm sorry, that sounds like a pretty weird virus if you ask me, just saying. But like, I don't know, never heard of something like that just enhances an illness instead of like making another illness. I don't know. But literally almost all of the recorded deaths were from people that had other illnesses that just so happened to also have COVID, and they didn't label it because of the other illness that actually killed them. It was because of COVID. People with respiratory issues, they would die, and they would just happen to have COVID, and it's because of COVID that they died. And there are people that had fucking heart attacks. Oh, guess what? That's COVID. Hello? There were also like statistical facts of people that would get in car accidents, and since they had COVID, they died because of COVID. They were in a fucking car accident. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, okay, I'm sorry. It's just crazy. But I don't know. I don't know if that was because of overpopulation that COVID was a thing. I really doubt that. It was a genuine illness, and illnesses happen like that, like in history too, like the Black Plague and shit. I just think it's a little weird, and how like we all like went into lockdown. And can we just talk about how after quarantine shit seems so much different? Honestly, maybe it's just because of my perspective, and like because that was like my like I went from having a childhood to like, and then COVID happened, and then that's when like middle school, that's like when life started to get real, I guess. But that's also just how normal life works. So maybe that was just because of my bad timing. But like, I don't know, shit has just seemed so much more depressing after COVID, and so much weird, and like nothing's fun anymore. Time is so weird. Time moves so fucking weird. It's so slow when you're living in it, but then like you get to the end of the day and you're like, wow, that went so bad, that went quick. But like, no, that just shit took so fast. But like all of a sudden it's gone, and it's like, huh, what? I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And like that's another reason why like so many people do drugs, because like it's getting so depressing, so like they can't cope with their emotions. Because I'm sorry, how do you cope with your emotions? No one knows that. No one knows how to figure that out. There's therapy. That shit doesn't work for a lot of people. No one knows. There's no answer of how to cope with your emotions. That is just something that you deal with. And lo and behold, when like animals, I don't think they're dealing with depression. I don't fucking think that, because they can't think that comprehensively. They're just like, oh, I gotta eat, I gotta fuck, I gotta sleep. That's all they give a fuck about. They don't care about what other people think of them. They don't care about anything like that, unless they're in a tribe. Then like obviously they don't want to get kicked out of their tribe, but like that's about it. They're not constantly stressed out about that, because it's like it's a tribe. Unless you do something bad, you're not gonna get kicked out, so they already have a system. So it's like, what? And dogs if dogs have social or separation anxiety and they get attached to a human, guess what? Literally, guess what? Humans are domesticating animals. If dogs stayed undomesticated, then they wouldn't have separation anxiety things. They wouldn't be like that. They wouldn't be like freaking the fuck out crying every time you leave the house, because you wouldn't have any dogs, and they wouldn't be sad, and they would just be living their own little life, you know? So like, it's all just because of humans, and because we're able to think this much, and we're able to think like, oh no, what if he doesn't text me back? Oh no, like what if she doesn't like me? Oh no, what if I get an F on this test? What the fuck is a test supposed to be? If you told a came in that they're like, what the hell is a test? You have to go 12 years of life, you have to waste your education sitting in a fucking prison. It's literally a prison. You're gated off. You can't leave. You're told what to do. You have a lunchtime. You have your playtime, you have your recess, your rec hour, and then you go and you sit, and you have to sit, and you have to listen, take notes, all this shit. You have to do what you don't want to do, and it's literally like a punishment. A punishment for what? I don't fucking know. Being human? Maybe, because humans are fucking dicks. Humans are so selfish, it's insane. Literally, we don't give a fuck about anyone but ourselves, and I think that's probably a survival instinct, but like people take it too far, because like, yeah, you should be the only person that like you care about, but you should also care about other people. You should care about your mom, you should care about your dad, you should care about your friends, you should care about your family. But there's people that just don't, and if someone leaves, they just won't even give a second thought about it. And like honestly, that's literally how it should be, because we're not supposed to be dealing with depression, all this mental illness, but since we're so highly advanced, and since we can think about certain things that lead us into these, like for example, I went through a really bad psychosis, which is literally just because I was thinking too much. And I was going insane thinking about how the world is the way it is. Like I genuinely will never understand how the hell we got to where we are today. And technology, all this shit. One of my favorite conspiracy theories is, so like, y'all know how like the pyramids are like from aliens. Oh my god, they're from aliens. I don't know where I stand on that. I think it's fun to believe, but I honestly don't think that's true. But I think that like they built the pyramids, maybe they had a little help from some aliens, because like that's some pretty hard shit, I'm gonna be real. But like like they literally they have like pictures of like fucking with shit that looks like UFOs or lasers, like carvings, old cave carvings, like in the pyramids, and it's like, what was that? maybe it's their imagination, who knows, or maybe they were documenting what they see, because I feel like in a lot of human history, that's what it is. It's documenting what you see. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that they probably did that, and also like how technology just suddenly advanced. Did you know? I don't know if this is true. My stepdad told me this, but he was like, apparently there was like a UFO that crashed, or like it looked like a UFO. Everyone thought it was a UFO, and the government was like, no, it's not a UFO. That was just a military device. And apparently it had like a bunch. This was like in the 1900s, by the way, and it had a bunch of like technology shit in it. And all of a sudden, after that crashed, technology started advancing like a motherfucker. There were computers, there were TVs, there were black and white, there was colored cameras, there was microphones, there was all of this, and it was launching. And spaceships and all of this fucking shit, and like what? And also the moon, the whole space thing is like, how come we're hardly going to space anymore? Like we do go to space, but like why are the astronauts going to space? Like is there something up there that we should be afraid of? Like it's just usually just satellites or stuff going up into space, not humans. And it's like what? I don't know, but like, why aren't we going out there more? Because I feel like we are so much more advanced than we were in the 1900s. I feel like we should be going up there all the time. I feel like we should be finding more planets. Because, like, I'm sorry, we're destroying the fuck out of ours. Have y'all seen Bangladesh? I'm pretty sure it's Bangladesh. I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know it starts with a B, though. I'm positive it starts with a B. And I know that it's, like, under China, like, in that area. But they are insanely polluted. Apparently, if you breathe there for a day, just breathing the air, it's like you're smoking 10 cigarettes a day. What? How did we get to that point? How did we get to that point? And then there's animals that have to live in that, and that is not their fault. That is purely humans' fault. Another reason why we're selfish, because we don't give a fuck about our environment or other animals. And like, for example, like I've been killing ants because like I have an ant problem, so I've been killing ants, and I literally feel so bad about it because I'm like, bro, this is an ant. Like they feel the pain. Like even if they can't like think anything of it because they're too stupid to think anything of it, they feel it. That's literally torture. They feel themselves dying. Or like if it's fucking monsters that like drown bees and stuff, like. You're drowning a creature. It can feel that. It literally can feel that. Like. I don't get it. I don't know. And then there's so much stuff too, like with the Bible, because like then it's just like, okay, there's people that believe in like the Adam and Eve stuff, but then there's like there's a bunch of crazy stories in the Bible that I can get hate, but I'm sorry, I'm Christian. I'm Christian, but like there's a lot of stories in the Bible that just aren't true, and I don't know if it was because like their imagination or they just wanted to like. I don't know, but like the old Catholic Church, for example, like it committed a lot of heresy, and they were just very, very they would push and have you do a lot of crazy practices. Another example of this is Anabaptists. They split into two branches. One of them became the Amish. I didn't even know the Amish was a part of Christianity until a while ago. Y'all, you know how like strict the Amish are with their religion, right? Like it's insane. And like the Catholic Church would always like. They did not preach what was in the gospel. They would preach stuff to benefit the church and to benefit the Pope. And they'd be like, give me money, give me this. And like, they didn't teach the Bible. That's why Lutheranism came in. Martin Luther, he was like, you know what? Screw this. Like, I'm reading the Bible. I'm studying this shit. I'm getting everyone to read the Bible. I'm starting my new religion. I'm reforming the church. It didn't work because the Catholic Church is insane and they literally don't care. So, yeah, literally nothing against Catholics. It's against the church. I'm against the church because that was insane. And that is like when like the whole like I don't know if that was when the Bible was made, but it was like around that like kind of time, like people were starting to make the Bible, make the New Testament, all this shit. All these crazy stories aren't true, and it's to explain the unexplainable. Honestly, that's what religion is. It's a filler to explain the unexplainable and to stop like psychosis. Because if you start thinking too much about it, like how we were born, the Big Bang, how we got to where we are, how the universe even started, what even is the universe, does it end, like how do we spread so much, how do we gain intelligence, how are we so different than everyone else, how come like you can feel energy, like that's another thing, guys. Like have you ever just meditated and then like call me crazy, but like you go like this, you feel the energy, you can like start to see the colors through your eyes closed and you can feel it, or like when you go like this, like you could feel the energy generating, like the warmth, like you can literally control it, and it's like you can register your mood, and like you can just do anything. And the whole like that like you are like what, or like you are what you think you are, and how if you believe something then you actually can do it, and how your mind's so powerful. Like it's literally so true, you guys. And I don't get that, like how like, are we powerful? Do we have magic powers? Because I don't think that's normal. I don't think that, like, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't feel like it's science. It doesn't feel science to me. Kind of feels like some airbender aura shit. I don't know, but like I don't get that. Like, it's just so many questions, and so like religion is just like, it's to like kind of just stop the questions and be like, yeah, this is how that happened. And there's a lot of true story, or sorry, there's probably true stories in the Bible. There's also a lot of untrue stories in the Bible, and a lot of it is from the church trying to make you believe stuff. But a lot of it is just because people were just making shit up because they're like, this doesn't make sense. It was God. God was punishing us, all our sins. And other things like how the church would preach, if you do good deeds, that means you're a good man, so you would just go to heaven. And but that's like not how that works, because like you wouldn't have any faith in God, you wouldn't like believe in God, you would just be like, oh, I'm a good person, I do all this shit, that means I'm going to heaven. But you don't actually believe in anything that you're doing, you're just doing it because it'll get you to heaven. That's what the church like preach, which should not be Christianity. What gets you into heaven is your belief in God, your faith in Jesus, because he died on the cross for you. You believe in him and you love him. You don't have to go and confess every single fucking sin that you make. That's not going to get you into heaven, because everybody sins. You cannot be a perfect man. You can't be a perfect noble and get into heaven that way, because no, a good man does good deeds. Good deeds don't make a good man. You know what I mean? Because if you're naturally good, then you're going to do good deeds. You're not going to, if you're just doing good deeds just to do good deeds, that doesn't make you a good man. But if you're doing good deeds because you're a good man, then that means you're a good man. You know what I mean? Because, like, if you're a good man, you're just going to start doing good deeds because that's who you are. You want to help people. That's just, you want to do that. But if you're doing it because you're like, oh no, it'll get me into heaven. Like, I'm doing good things. This will make people like me. Then no, again, no, you don't believe in yourself. You're not a good man. Hello, you're a fucking creep or a narcissist or some shit. Like, hello, but I don't know. Like, it's so weird. All that, I don't get it. And then also like how Christians, there were so many wars between Anabaptists and Catholics and Lutherans, and there was wars between Catholics and Lutherans. There was just so many wars, and it's like, if we're all Christian, why are we fighting each other? Why are we killing each other? Why are we killing people if they don't believe in our religion? If they don't believe in our religion, then let God handle it. Let them go to hell. Why are we killing them? That is not our job. We don't need to be doing that. You know, like killing someone is a sin, you guys. We're not supposed to do that. Like, hello. I don't know, but I think that, honestly, if Christianity isn't real, let's say heaven and hell isn't real, then that means that it was just something to stop us from thinking of whatever the fuck our life is. Because if you think about it, it doesn't make sense. Life doesn't make sense, and I'm not going to go into that spiral again because I went insane last time I went in that spiral. I literally deleted time off my phone because I stopped believing in time when I was going through really bad psychosis. But it spirals you down, and so Christianity is just something you can just, it takes all that away, and it restores faith. It keeps you sane, but it also has good deeds, good morals, so it creates good society. It creates like good people, working society, because people like want to do good, they don't want to do bad. And so like it kind of, even if it isn't real, it lays a good like support thing for humans to do good, because humans are so reckless and so destroying, and they want to destroy. Like, we are rebels. Like, we want to do bad in society. Unless you're in a society where it's good and it benefits you, then you don't necessarily want to do bad. But usually, like, you're gonna want to do bad. Like, if you're a slave or something, like, you're not gonna fucking want to be a slave. Why would you want to help this society, you know? So like, they try to push Christianity so you can be a good person, because then you're unknowingly helping society by being a good person, just because it's your moral beliefs. So I get the building blocks for that, because that makes sense. Because again, that's all what it comes down to. It comes down to society and how you want society to run. Tying this all together now, because society is, you do this, whatever, and you work, it goes to the higher powers, goes to, all your money ends up going back to the government, taxes, whatever, it goes to the government, right? And who knows what they're doing with that? Because I know America is in hella debt, so I don't know what y'all doing with that money. If you're helping the roads, like, fucking do better, because these roads are still bumpy as hell. So I don't know. And like there's just so many systems that need to be fixed. The court system, the school system needs to be heavily fixed, and it's really not. So I don't really know where our money is going. But the point is, it's going to the higher people of higher power, and God knows what they're doing with that money. Maybe they're just getting drunk, doing some coke, jerking off, hiring prostitutes. Who the fuck knows? But like it's always been rigged for peasants. That like the media makes you think that you're living this good life, but in reality you're not. Like you're really not. Like you're kind of at the bottom of the whole system right now. Like we are peasants. Like we are at the very bottom, and they just try to make you not think that, because if you start thinking that and you start thinking that you're the bottom, you're the peasant, so many people have it better than you, there's gonna be a peasant war, there's gonna be rebellion. They don't want rebellion because then the whole country goes to shit. Obviously they don't want that, because all their money, all their happiness, all their little fame goes away. And yeah, so they just lie to the people, make you think that you have it good, all this shit. Like, oh no, you got technology, you have your little phone, be happy on your little phone, go scroll on your TikTok, be so happy. You're not fucking happy, you're not doing shit with your life, bro. Like, come on, like, hey, we'll give you drugs. We're not gonna cut rid of the drugs. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna make the cartels. Oh my god, literally speaking of that, it sucks so much, because I don't know if y'all know this, but you know how like the cops will like kick homeless people out of the street. They literally kick them to areas where drugs are highly accessible, or where the cartels are, and it's so that if they already aren't on drugs, they're probably going to start doing drugs because it's so highly accessible. And also they're homeless, they're probably depressed, they probably like want to have something to get through the day, because there's 24 hours in a day. I don't know if y'all know, but that's a long fucking time, and so sometimes it's hard. Boredom is a bitch, and it's hard, especially if you feel like you're doing nothing in life and you're like just completely unproductive and you're just completely like a failure. Then it's like you're gonna want to do drugs to not think of that, because you don't want to think of that, because then you're probably gonna kill yourself, because then there's no point, you know. So they do that, and it kind of just is to kill them off, which is another like overpopulation thing, and just to get rid of the people on the streets. It's really fucked, but that's like what they do. And I don't know, like, it's just so fucking rigged, and they just make you think that you're literally living this whole good life. And just social media too is just so bad, because I don't know if y'all know this, but when you scroll, like, even if you don't feel any emotion, like a new emotion every single video is getting unlocked and unlocked, which is why so many people have BPD and bipolar now. Oh my god, that used to not be a thing. Have you ever heard someone in the 1900s having bipolar disorder? Maybe, I don't know, but it wasn't common. I know that's for damn sure. It's so common now, and it's one of the main factors is because when you're scrolling social media, you're unlocking so many different little emotion triggers that just go off, and you usually can't feel it, but it's happening in your brain. It's happening. I've fucking studied this shit for so long, bro, and it's you're not supposed to feel so many different emotions, like brrr, brrr, like that. You're not supposed to feel that, and so it kind of just fucks up your emotional system, and like makes people not be able to handle their emotions, and like anger issues, all that shit. It just pops off, and I don't know. And also just it makes people stupider. The whole tralalelo tralala, like you're not even speaking fucking English. Like you don't make sense. You're wasting your time doom scrolling instead of like studying or working out, being productive, fucking looking into stuff you don't know, like learning about things that you never knew before. Like, humans have a brain for a reason. We are intelligent for a reason. I know that I literally said how we're aliens, and I think that it's insane that we even are capable of that, but there has to be a reason, okay? There has to be a reason, and you should use it, because if you're wasting all this knowledge, like, you are so blessed to be able to have all this knowledge, so use it wisely, and do not use it to go into psychosis. Use it to like genuinely learn and educate yourself, not to go insane, because at the end of the day, to like cop this whole thing off, I think I stopped talking about whatever I was gonna talk about before. Like I kind of lost my train of thought, but whatever. Society's bad. That's my point. But like tribes are so good. Like there's so many tribes that like have been on forever, and that's because it's not like a huge corrupt society. They're all working together. There's no like power influx. It's like there's a chief, but like it's not like they're using their people. They work together for the people. They work for the people. You don't see people doing that now. They work for the money and for the power. It's all about money now. It's all about greed. All of it is about greed. because they just know that it elevates your status and your power, and that's all people want. God, glory, and greed, the 3 G's. Usually it's just glory and greed though these days, not gonna lie. But anyway, to top it all off, you should use your education and like genuinely try to educate yourself. Don't be a fucking failure. Don't waste your time. And you know, I don't know, just understand how rigged the whole entire system is and how you're kind of just destined for depression since the moment you were born. Because that's the world that we live in. But to help you think that after all this, I know there's like a lot of bad news, but just appreciate the beauty in the little things, like the people that you do love. Just appreciate them, be grateful, because you don't know how long that's gonna last, and if they make you happy, appreciate those moments, because there's gonna be so many times in your life that you aren't happy, and the moments that you are happy, you have to know that you have to live for those, because those are such beautiful moments. When you're listening to music, you get chills, you get euphoria, and it's just these life moments that you are indescribable. And like when you're looking at a sunset, or you're stargazing, or you're meditating, and you're like putting your hands out in the grass and you're embracing the nature, like live for those moments, the real life moments. Or when you go on a hike and you complete a hike and then you're standing at the top of the mountain and you're like and you feel completed, like dude, live for those. Life is beautiful. That is what life is all about. And notice how everything that I just said life was all about was nothing people made. It's all like nature and shit, except for the music thing. But like you can like make your own music too. Music has always been a thing. Like it's been a thing for forever. People just make beats. People just do that, you know. So it's beautiful, and life is beautiful. And you also just have to appreciate the corruptness about it, because in its own way, it's beautiful too. Because just the fact that it can be that bad is kind of insane and beautiful in its own way, because it doesn't make sense. And I feel like things that don't make sense are kind of beautiful, because it just leaves you with the feeling of mystery and wanting more. But that's the things you can't want more. You just gotta appreciate it. You just gotta appreciate the feeling of wanting more. And I mean, by wanting more, I mean like wanting to know more. But you kind of just gotta live with it and appreciate the beauty, because at the end of the day, we can't really do shit about it. We have no power at all because of society. So I don't know, you gotta live and appreciate. You gotta live for the small moments, because that's all that matters. You can't live for the power and for the greed, because I'm telling you, that gets you nowhere. It just leaves you alone. And the things that make you happiest is when you're with people you love, because if you're just sitting there doom scrolling or doing drugs, like what if there's a time when that's unaccessible? What if something happens, you can't do that anymore? People, society, like your family, people that actually care about you, not society, sorry, like tribes, like that kind of society, like a small society, a small group of people that genuinely care. That is like what makes life living and human interaction, because like that's the one thing that animals do. They have their little interactions. That's what keeps them going. They have their little group. And when you're independent and when you're isolated, it sucks. People spiral. They feel alone. They feel just depressed, all that. So just live for the beauty, and you can't really do anything about it except live your life. So try to make the best of it, and you can be aware of how much it sucks. Just try not to get so warped into it, because at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. But yeah, I don't know. Just live your life, and I don't know. Hopefully, I motivated some of you all to like not work a 9 to 5. Really hope that I did that, because I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I really don't. I want to be like a therapist on my own hours, and then I also want to have my own farm, living in an RV, fucking traveling the world. Low key the plan. Also, I want to live in Vermont though. It's so beautiful there. But like, yeah, just thrive for your goals. Don't get warped in greed, because it doesn't lead you anywhere good. It may feel good in the moment, but it won't feel good later, because you're gonna get tired of it and you're gonna realize that it didn't matter, and that's not actually what makes you happy. Okay, bye bye guys. Love you.